Welcome to Region Weather Live, your YouTube source for weather across the Dakotas and Minnesota. I am meteorologist Brad Warner. Been a bit of a crazy night here in the Warner household, so we're just going to do a bit of a quick breakdown of what's going on over the next couple of days. We finally break down this ridge of high pressure that's been over us and giving us these unseasonably warm temperatures. And so by Wednesday night through the day on Thursday, looks like that upper level high pressure is finally going to sag a little bit further southward, and we're going to be pushing in some stronger mid-level winds. So now as that happens, we're going to have this cold front that's going to begin to sweep through our region here. It is sagging back to the south and west Wednesday night, and out ahead of it, we're going to have a few showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder through the overnight hours Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. But once we get into Thursday morning and right around the noon time frame, you can see where this cold front now is and begins to enter into northwestern parts of Minnesota and is kind of completing its sweep across to North Dakota and starting to enter into South Dakota as well. So it's going to be a long and kind of somewhat some showers back behind it, and then some thunderstorms possible out ahead of it as well as we go through the day on Thursday. And here you can see how those showers move into western parts of the Dakotas through the overnight hours Wednesday night and into the early parts of Thursday morning. And those scattered showers kind of linger across parts of the Dakotas and northern Minnesota right into the noon hour on Thursday. Now, as is typical, once you have these cold fronts sweeping through the area, you get this pooling of higher dew points out ahead of it. And you can see the dew points are starting to get into the mid 60s across much of Minnesota. Once we get into the late afternoon and probably more so into the evening hours, Thursday evening, and that cold front kind of continues to sweep across Minnesota, you really see those dew points begin to spike up right along that frontal boundary. Here we got dew points possibly reaching right around 70 degrees across central parts of Minnesota. And those higher temperatures are going to be pooling up around that frontal boundary as well. As you can see, highs spiking into the low 100s down into southeastern parts of South Dakota, possibly into southwestern parts of Minnesota as well. So it's going to be very hot across portions of South Dakota, southwest Minnesota on Thursday. The only problem perhaps might be, at least in the early going, might be that through the lower layers of the atmosphere, it might be just a little bit too dry for some of these storms to really get going like we would maybe normally see through the early summertime hour or the only problem might be is that it's just a little too dry through the lower layers, and so might have a little bit harder time getting some of those stronger storms getting going late in the afternoon, Thursday into Thursday evening. So as we go through the day on Thursday, more so as we get into the evening hours, probably after about 6 o'clock, we could see a few storms start to develop along that frontal boundary. Maybe in through portions of South Dakota and into Minnesota as well. And then those storms kind of begin to increase through central parts of Minnesota as we get a little bit deeper into the evening and kind of closer to that midnight. Actually, this is right around midnight. Where some stronger storms could develop and move to the northeast, kind of along that frontal boundary. We do have that more of a southwesterly flow, so that's why these storms are going to be kind of riding off to the north and east along that cold front as it kind of stalls out. That frontal boundary doesn't really move that fast Thursday night in through Friday morning. Now, once we do lose the heating through the overnight hours, most of those stronger storms will fade away, and we're just going to be left with probably some general showers, maybe a few claps of thunder through the overnight hours into early parts of Friday morning. I think mostly we're going to be left with some rain back behind that frontal boundary. So again, late Thursday into Thursday evening, kind of before midnight, we might see some stronger storms. Right now, I don't feel they're going to be severe, but stronger storms maybe, meaning some smaller hail, some gusty winds, again, below an inch in diameter and with hail below 60 mile per hour in wind. Maybe there'll be an isolated one out there, but as it looks right now, I think most of the storms will be just below severe levels, and I think it's because those lower levels just aren't helping things really able to take these, let these storms take off as we get into the late afternoon and evening hours. And now, as I said, that front kind of takes its time moving through. It kind of stalls out, so we're going to be left with some scattered showers, maybe a few claps of thunder throughout the day on Friday before that frontal boundary kind of moves slowly off and down to the southeast by Saturday morning. So I think by Saturday morning, anything associated with that frontal boundary will have moved out of our area. Then that's about it. After that, again, it dries up as we see through the weekend and right into the early parts of next week. Not a whole lot of rain. Now, the one thing this frontal boundary definitely will do is cool things off. And you can see here by the forecast for Wednesday, we're talking highs still in the triple digits across South Dakota, maybe parts of western North Dakota as well. Otherwise, most of the Dakotas are in the 80s to 90s, southern parts of Minnesota in the 80s, northern parts in the mid to upper 70s, still a little bit cooler up there. Thursday, again, kind of as that frontal boundary moves through and that warm air kind of pools up ahead of it, we're still looking at 90s to triple digits into parts of South Dakota, maybe southwestern parts of Minnesota. But look at that cool air starting to filter into northwestern parts of Minnesota on Thursday. And then look at the highs on Fridays, folks. Boy, it's going to cool off. We're only talking highs in the 60s across a good portion of North Dakota and even into South Dakota and into northern parts of Minnesota. A little bit warmer down into southeastern parts of Minnesota just because that frontal boundary doesn't quite move through until more so Friday night. And then Saturday, those cooler temperatures continue to linger, 60s and 70s across the region. And then Sunday, more 70s, kind of a comfortable day actually for Sunday. A lot of widespread upper 60s to mid 70s across eastern Dakotas. And then we start to see some 80s creep back into the western parts of the Dakotas on Sunday. And again for Monday as well, kind of around 80 in the 80s across South Dakota, southwest South Dakota, and then 60s and 70s across the remainder of the region. Let's just, for the heck of it, take a look at some forecasted low temperatures. This is Thursday night into Friday morning. This is the expected lows. Some upper 40s possible across parts of northern Minnesota, northeast North Dakota, Friday morning. Saturday morning, a little bit warmer, but once we get into Sunday morning, so this is Saturday night into Sunday morning, some of the overnight lows looking as cool as the mid 40s across the western parts of North Dakota. So a little bit chilly Saturday night into Sunday morning. But as I said, Sunday actually won't turn out to be too bad of a day. And so a little bit of a cool down on the way. And as that frontal boundary moves through, some showers along and kind of behind it, and then maybe a few stronger storms Thursday evening. Nothing really expected to be severe. Nothing to be too concerned about. A little bit of rain that's going to accumulate possibly down into southern parts of Minnesota, but boy, there's some areas that could definitely use a bit of a soaker across. Actually, probably much of the area could maybe use an inch or two of rain. I know there's been a lot of areas that the harvest, the weed harvest is getting about done in many areas. And so we could actually use some rain for some of those larger crops, for some of those row crops as well. So, boy, unfortunately, there's nothing like that. I wish I had a little better news on that front, but we'll just have to keep an eye and see if hopefully something changes down the road. So, all right, everybody, for Region Weather Live, I am meteorologist Brad Warner. Everybody, have a good day.